Yes, I would love to play first. Full disclosure, we are starting halfway through. Not halfway through. We are starting one round into a league. We're gonna go ahead and keep this. This hand seems very good. Because, we'll play Cinder Glade first, I think, and then reveal Forest to Fortified Village. To play this Lambholt Pacifist. Because I still want to play Nissa on curve. So Fortified Village and Forest enter the battlefield untapped, so we need to play one of those this turn. I think it's just a Fortified Village. We could also kind of skip our turn to play a Hangarback Walker. So it looks like we're playing Ramp. If Ramp doesn't have a play, then they're kind of sunk to the Lambholt Pacifist. So I could either play Nissa and minus, which would have her die to the Sylvan Advocate. Drawing this Plains makes our hand a lot less clunky because suddenly these two are untapped whenever we want to play them. I think we want to play the Nissa first, plus it, and then start minusing when we have 2/2 Hangarback Walker down, because that gets a lot of pressure on the board and still keeps our Nissa around for a little bit longer. But yeah, my recording crapped out on me the first round of this league, so we will be doing an extra 2-player match at the end. Alright, so I could play a Lambholt Pacifist and a Hangarback Walker, which I kind of like, and then minus Nissa. Yeah, that seems like a really good turn for me. Okay. And we're doing this before combat because if we don't, we will be unable to attack with our Lambholt Pacifist. Which is suddenly able to attack because I do control multiple creatures with power 4 or greater. Oh, we're playing SCG Green. Alright, cool. I don't even know who that is. Alright. Explosive Vegetation is not something I'm super worried about yet. Our opponent's Sylvan Advocate is big. But if they want to attack, I'm actually fine blocking in some capacity. If I block with Hangarback Walker and Lambholt Pacifist, the Lambholt Pacifist is going to die. But if I block with Hangarback Walker, I can get 2 tokens, minus Nissa, then that's 5/5. And then my opponent's almost dead. Kind of like that. But if I don't block with Hangarback Walker, if I double block with Hangarback Walker and Lambholt Pacifist, then my Lambholt Pacifist will die. I can untap. My opponent has 6 lands. I don't have any spells right now. I think just blocking with the Hangarback Walker puts the most pressure on my opponent. Drawing that second Nissa was a great thing because it allows me to do that right away. If I play another Nissa and just minus it right away, I can leave the plant token back still. And just, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. It's a good draw. My opponent has to block here, or they're dead, so that's good. Could have attacked with the plant then, I guess. My opponent would be at 1. So they can play a World Breaker, which doesn't actually do a whole lot. It kills one of my Thopters. Yeah, I like this position. Because there isn't a red Wrath right now. Yeah. Alright, cool. Alright. Alright, so against ramp, I guess I like Declaration in Stone and maybe Angelic Purge. Ramps tends to play a lot more like low-end threats, as you saw our opponent played Sylvan Advocate, and so these guys are pretty good. I don't think Arlen Court is that good in this matchup. She doesn't put a lot of pressure on our opponent right away, which is really what we want. I think Declaration in Stone is probably better than Silk Wrap, just because our opponent's threats range so widely in converted mana cost. Because although our opponent plays Sylvan Advocate there, it could be a World Breaker next round. Need one more cut. Probably a Dromoka's Command. I could probably put in a Quarantine Field for another Dromoka's Command too to deal with potential, like, Ulamogs. Yeah, let's give that a shot. Well, this hand has what we're looking for in a hand, which is, like, a solid curve. We've got a 2 and a 3 that, again, put a lot of pressure on our opponent. Oath of Nissa is fine. I have missed playing Oath of Nissa in ramp before, and it's so awful. It's the worst feeling. So we're just gonna be playing a Cinder Glade tapped. Another Hangarback Walker isn't the worst. It's not great against threats like World Breaker, though. Alright. So if our opponent is doing is casting Oaths of Nissa, I think we're in pretty good shape. I mean, that's mostly what the ramp deck does in their early turns. When they start casting Explosive Vegetations, I think we're in a bit more trouble. But getting the first Sylvan Advocate down and having the Oath of Nissa to back it up is pretty good. Ooh, that card is pretty sweet. Oh my gosh, 3 Oath of Nissas. Okay, and a Forest. Needle Spires is a little awkward, but I will eventually be able to skip my turn to play it, I guess. I want to get this Oath of Nissa, or this Nissa Voice of Zendikar out as soon as possible. So, alright, Sylvan Advocate, that's fine. Quarantine Field is a neat draw. So, my options are play Nissa, which, you know, pretty good. If we draw an untapped land, then we're able to cast Gideon next turn, which seems like a great follow-up. I think what I want to do if I play Nissa is... No, I don't want to minus, just kidding. I could just play a Hangarback Walker and a Needle Spires, because that opens me up to playing Quarantine Field next turn, which is pretty good if my opponent goes Forest into Explosive Vegetation. But I think what I want to do is start putting loyalty on this Nissa. And I'm not going to attack because there's no point. I feel like my opponent would block regardless. Okay. So that's an explosive vegetation, sure. And I'll be blocking with this plant token, also, sure. Alright, opponent's not attacking, which seems wrong to me. So, definitely playing this Needle Spires. I could play Lambholt Pacifist and minus Nissa. I think Guy's Revenge. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I could also play Hangarback Walker and minus, which puts... Or I could plus Nissa, actually. That actually seems like a reasonable option, just given my opponent's probably going to play this Guy's Revenge next turn, and I can block it with a plant token. Minusing makes the Sylvan Advocate a lot more threatening, a lot less threatening though. But having the extra plant token around does too. I think I just want to plus one more time. And then next turn I can play both Hangarback Walkers if I wanted, or a Gideon. Alright, so we knew about that forest. Guy's Revenge is interesting in this matchup. And it might be worth considering Planar Outburst. Just because we really can't beat... Oh, Chandra. Okay, well, I played exactly wrong against a Chandra. That's not good. So, Nissa is not going to die, which is great. This turn, anyway. She might die next turn. So, I have the option of plussing Nissa and playing a Gideon, or I could plus Nissa, play Quarantine Field, although either way my opponent's going to play this. Not drawing a land is very bad for me. I could also plus Nissa, play 2 Hangarback Walkers, which actually seems kind of good. I like that more because if my opponent wants to kill Nissa, they're going to kill Nissa with that line. In which case, like, no matter what I do, my planeswalkers are going to die. So I want to take as much advantage of this turn as possible. Which sucks because this is at 1, and I can't believe I was just, yeah, alright. So we're plussing Nissa. That's happening. I could Emblem Gideon, which would not solve the problem of our Nissa dying. So the Hangarback Walker line puts 3 blockers on the table, but leaves Nissa dead to anything. The Quarantine Field line leaves Nissa dead. but saves me a bunch of damage. Unfortunately, I won't be able to quarantine field the Guy's Revenge anyway. And since if I hadn't missed my land drop, I probably would be considering holding on to this quarantine field. But right now, I think that getting the Chandra off the table is the best thing I can do. Because Chandra threatens these Gideons pretty readily. I could also, if I wanted, play Gideon, Emblem Gideon, and play 2 free Hangarback Walkers, which seems like not the worst line. Yeah. And suddenly Ulamog. Alright, cool. Missing our land drop was a huge pain. They also get their Chandra back. Oh, goodness. Alright, so getting rid of my land, which is smart, because I can't really do anything to this Nissa anyway. Getting another Ulamog, just in case I have the Declaration in Stone, which I assure you I don't. Nissa's dying. For sure, and I'm probably taking 4. And I can't even cast this Gideon right now. I think I take 4. Because, alright, let's see what this brings. Get this Canopy Vista. Okay. Nope, no attacks. Oh, goodness. Alright, so I feel good about the quarantine field. I feel like what we want is just a faster start. This one here, take 6. I'm sure my opponent's going to cast another one. 2, 4, yeah. Yeah. Now we are definitely dead. Let's see. Do I want an Angelic Purge? I think Dromoka's command is better against the Sylvan Advocate plan, which our opponent appears to be on to a pretty high degree. I would love to play first. No. We're gonna go ahead and mulligan this one. Being able to pressure the... we're gonna keep this. The Scry is gonna be nice because it lets us know if this game trail is going to enter the battlefield untapped or not, which is pretty important because we're probably gonna end up playing the Canopy Vista first regardless, because the Canopy Vista guarantee does not enter the battlefield. Oh goodness. Actually, I'm gonna put this on top because we have enough things going on that we want it on top. If we play the game trail first, then the Canopy Vista can allow us to play future Shadowlands untapped. The Plains doesn't allow the game trail to enter the battlefield untapped. But the Plains does... yeah, I think I want to play the game trail first. No reveal. Because if we draw another basic or a Shadowland, then our third land will enter the battlefield untapped as well. So that's what we want to be doing. We definitely want to be playing this Lambholt Pacifist this turn. It doesn't do as great a job as pressuring our opponent as what we really want, because if our opponent has like an Oath of Nissa this turn or a Sylvan Advocate, well, shucks, but that works too, I guess. Cinder Glade. Well, guess I play the Canopy Vista and attack with my Lambholt Butcher. Nissa's Pilgrimage, sure. I'll see your Nissa's Pilgrimage and raise you a Nissa. She is playing with, our opponent is playing with different art basics, so that's, I guess, something to keep in mind. Alright, got the Cinder Glade entering the battlefield tapped, which is fine. Doing this for the ETB, the F8 value. And we've got an Archangel Avacyn to hopefully help us sweep up. Although, if our opponent goes, like, Explosive Vegetation into maybe Chandra? Thought-Knot-Seer, huh? Goodbye, Archangel Avacyn. You got us. So, Lambholt Butcher is going to flip back, but I think what we want to do anyways is -2 Nissa this turn. And Declaration the Thought-Knot-Seer. Game Trail. So, we're gonna Declaration the Thought-Knot-Seer. Probably play the Needle Spires. I actually like playing the Battlefield Forge here and casting Evolutionary Leap, because it allows us to keep a green up for the Evolutionary Leap. So if our opponent plays a Chandra, we're still in good shape. And we can still, like, sacrifice a plant if we want to. Try and find an Avacyn or something. Alright, so... Our opponent's probably not going to neg... Oh, okay, well, yes they are. Alright, Sylvan Advocate's great. Especially with, like, Needle Spires, Fortified Village, stuff like that. Sylvan Advocate. I'm gonna play Needle Spires. Plus Nissa. Opponent didn't play a Game Trail last turn. Oh man, I could activate Needle Spires and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So sure. I think since the plan is to minus Nissa, I like not Evolutionary Leaping the plant. think putting a counter on the Needle Spires is worthwhile. Also trying to kill my opponent. Kozilek's Return. Killing the plant? Sure. My opponent can also block the Sylvan Advocate, which is fine. Oh, I should have Game Trail. Oh man, I should have Evolutionary Leap the plant token. That was so bad. But yeah, my opponent's still dead because. Okay, so well, let's see. What would I have hit? Avacyn. Okay, neat. But if my opponent had blocked the Needle Spires, maybe my opponent thought that. GG's. First of all, my opponent. Maybe my opponent thought that it wouldn't deal the second strike damage. Having double strike was pretty good. Anyway, so yeah, that was round 1. We made a couple of mistakes, but I think overall it was fine. Chandra in game 2 was a beating. That's for sure. I will see you guys in round 2.